Good early morning, everybody. It's Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading. As you can see, the criminals are vibrating my phone. It's like almost 4 o'clock in the morning. And no, I haven't taken my shower yet or my bath. Actually, my bath is run and filled with Epsom salt. And after I record this, that's exactly what I'm going to do. But I watched a video of David A. this morning, or yesterday morning, regarding aggression and acting out. I don't know who he was referring to. The name of the individual that he mentioned, I'm not familiar with. That doesn't mean anything. But nobody should be acting out or being aggressive or harming themselves, etc. I mean, what's happening to us is torture. But what I do is, I make fun of it. And I'm going to tell you where I've been. People have been posting comments like, "Where have you been?" I'll tell you where I've been. But when I was counseling people back in New Jersey, and people would have aggressive issues, I'd say, "Well, do you have a punching bag?" Because one of my friends, my friend Robert, rest in peace. He had a punching bag, and he was a very angry guy. He was really sweet. He was very nice all the time. He was a programmer, but he had a lot of repressed anger, and he took it out in his punching bag. And he had a punching bag, and it worked really well for him. But most people don't have a punching bag. But most people do have a pillow. So I would highly recommend you could take an index card or write it on a piece of paper. You could write the word perp. You could write the words of whomever it is that you want to annihilate and stick it on top of your pillow and pummel your pillow. Punch your pillow. That's what you have to do. You punch your pillow. Or you could scream into your pillow. That's another thing. You can scream into your pillow. And it won't harm anybody, and you'll feel so much better. I was actually going to do a little demo for you, and I didn't have time today. I've been so busy, and I'll tell you what I've been doing today. But I was so busy today, I wanted to take my pillow and draw the words perp and WOP and MOP and COP and all of the acronyms that I use. And for those newcomers, welcome. COP is Criminals on Patrol. MOP is Morons on Patrol, and now we've got Matrons on Patrol. LOPS are Losers on Patrol. WOPS are Witches on Patrol. POPS, well, we've got lots for that. POPS are Predators, Pedos, Perverts on Patrol. There may be more. I think there are a couple of more. So that's what I use. So if you ever hear me talking about COPS, WOPS, MOPS, LOPS, and that's what it is. That's the acronyms for COPS, Criminals on Patrol, Losers on Patrol, Morons on Patrol, Witches on Patrol, and Predators on Patrol. So anyway, the last video, not the last video they posted, the one on Satanists, the one before taking a walking tour of my property. Well, I didn't mention some of the things that I saw in that video. But it was deeply disturbing to me, so I spent a good part of yesterday and today cleaning up all the witchcraft, all the rituals that were being performed in the back area of my property. And they filthied it, and what they do is they like to take pointy sticks and twigs and point them towards the root base of the trees. They're trying to kill the trees. They're also deliberately browning out the grass. But yeah, so I found nesting materials upon nesting materials and trash, not physical trash, but branches and twigs and all kinds of stuff that they plant. They plant these creeping vines that they're called Creeping Charlie. The Freemasons do that. I shouldn't say the Freemasons. The Freemasons are not doing it. It's the Eastern Star Witches. And because these creeping vines are binding and strangling, and they plant them around the bases of things, like plants and trees and stuff. And then they poke them with tree branches and stuff. And yes, I brought my phone with me. I wrapped it in plastic because I don't want it to get all dirty back there. And then I would leave it, you know, in a particular spot because I'm, you know, walking back and forth with my cart and gathering up all these branches and twigs and all kinds of weird stuff back there. And back and forth to the burn pit. But I'd leave my phone in one place, and it was just too much to pick up the phone and clean it off, and I'm wearing gardening gloves and stuff, and no, I wouldn't touch this stuff. But yeah, so shout out to the witches here. This is my property. You want to perform your bitchcraft? Do it on your own property. I ended up putting a motion sensor light back there. So, and I'm going to be putting some more back there too. Because if I catch you little effers back there, I will have no problem reporting you. And hopefully you'll be arrested for being on my property and trespassing and filthying it. But yeah, I for the last 2 days, I have spent hours picking up all the debris that these witches have left on my property. So that's what I did. So if you're angry, if you want to punch a perp, write their names on your pillow and you can pummel your pillow. Unless you have a water pillow like me, you do not want to do it with your water pillow. But if you've got a regular pillow, or if you work out at a gym and you've got punching bag there, or you can lift weights, that is just as good. So, yes, so I'm going to forward that message to everybody. It's not worth it. Look at what happened to Myron May. It's not worth it. Whatever he did, he didn't prove anything. He didn't prove anything to anybody. And unfortunately, he's gone. But he did not have to do what he did. He had a prolific career. He was educated. He looked like a sweet man. And what he did was not necessary. Do not listen to any voices that you hear. It doesn't matter if they're telling you something that's good, because what they'll do is they'll play the good cop and the bad cop, right? So one time they'll tell you something nice, and another time it'll tear you down. Do not listen to it. These are mechanical program devices designed to harm you. So anyway, just a little bit about news. Over 1,000 hospitals are closing down, and nurses are being fired. Hospitals and healthcare systems across the country are facing closures and widespread layoffs, creating a ripple effect that threatens both patients and staff. Financial pressures, declining reimbursements, and rising operational costs have forced many facilities to downsize or shut their doors entirely. Nurses, technicians, administrative staff are often the first to feel the impact, as units are consolidated and workloads increase for the remaining employees. For patients, this means longer wait times, reduced access to care, and the stress of navigating an increasingly fragmented healthcare system. The combination of layoffs and hospital closures has intensified burnout among healthcare workers. Those who remain employed are often overworked and emotionally drained, covering larger patient loads and fewer resources and less support. Morale is low, and the uncertainty about job stability adds another layer of stress for those who dedicate their lives to caring for others. In 2025, the healthcare workforce is caught in a difficult cycle. Staffing shortages lead to burnout. Burnout leads to more departures, and the resulting strain further threatens the quality and accessibility of care. And this is YouTube creator Market Games. In their video, over 1,000 hospitals are closing down, nurses being fired. Now, I want to say another thing on this that's not mentioned here is that if this happens, the quality of healthcare will definitely decline. When morale declines and people are overworked, they're going to overlook things, make more mistakes. And that goes for doctors too. There are already thousands and thousands of errors that take place every day in hospitals around the country. The wrong medications are given to people, the wrong schedules. Sometimes they leave stuff inside your body during operations and stuff. I would highly recommend you're being your own care person. You know, purchase all the items that you think that you may need. Bandages, you know, I mean, I don't even know what I want to say on YouTube anymore. This is for educational purposes only. It would be a really good idea to just purchase all the items that you think that you may need in case you fell down, in case you have a headache. You need cream, like Epsom salt. Like, I go through Epsom salt like crazy. Baking soda, for those of you that take Epsom salt baths and baking soda. Mule Team Borax. Any kind of vitamins and stuff, because these are not covered under medical insurance anyway. So the fact that if you have medical insurance, it's more than likely that some of these closures and shutdowns and stuff will affect you. Because if you've got managed care where you are supposed to go to specific medical facilities and specific doctors, you may be out of luck. These hospitals may be closing down. You may not have that particular provider anymore. So it'd be a good idea to look into that. I have not had a medical insurance since my divorce. It was too expensive. Besides the fact that there are deductibles, and most of what I needed at the time wasn't even covered under medical insurance. Chiropractic is capped at a certain amount. Homeopathic, not covered. Vitamins, not covered. Epsom salt, not covered. You know, all the things that we utilize, I mean, at least as targeted people, like EMF protection, that protects our health and stuff, that wouldn't be covered under medical insurance. So, to me, it's not worth it. I hear these young people who are losing their jobs, and all they do is complain about losing their medical insurance. It's like, I know why. Because they're all taking antidepressants and antipsychotics and whatever else that they're taking, and it's very expensive. And they're concerned about having to pay for that out of pocket. So anyway, that's just my little rant on that. I'm trying to see what other news I've got here. Let's see. On Court TV, Court TV has now picked up the Kentucky sextortion scandal and Judge Mullins' MURDER. Now, I have something to say about this. That sheriff is not innocent. Everybody's trying to make it appear as if now he's some vigilante, that he was taking out the judge because of all the nasty things he was doing. But meanwhile, that sheriff's deputy was also involved in that. And you mean to tell me he did not know his deputy was involved? And even if this sheriff was not involved in the sextortion scandal, he was involved in civil asset forfeiture. There was a video that I saw of him sitting behind his desk. He had this like glib, like little expression on his face, and he was surrounded by all the stuff he and his crew stole from motorists, from their vehicles, from pulling them over. These are road pirates. So no, he's not innocent. He may be innocent of some things, but he still shot somebody and took his life. And he should go to prison for life. So anyway, that's just my little rant on there. So anyway, so I was busy the last 2 days picking up Witchcraft. And yes, I'm shouting out to you witches, stay off my property. You want to perform your witchcraft? Do it on your own property. Send your little nasty stuff my way. None of your bitchcraft formed against me will prosper. And besides, it's all in the burn pit now. That's what they do to witches. Historically, that's what they do. I keep finding your bitchcraft, that's what's going to happen to it. It's going to go. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to take my soaking Epsom salt bath, and I hope everybody's doing well. Hit the thumbs up, helps the channel grow. Get the message out there. And remember, if you feel angry, if you feel stressed, and you feel like you want to punch somebody out, don't take it out when you're behind the wheel. Don't take it out on your neighbor, unless you want to do a video, you want to create a video of them. I've got so many videos of my neighbors online. It's so much fun at this point. Get your pillow. Punch a pillow today. And I'm going to sign off for now.